everybody, welcome to LEGO Rewind, where we take another look at old retired LEGO themes. This is a special episode focused on all of LEGO's Halloween-inspired lines, so of course we're starting with Castle. You'll see where I'm going in a sec. Dragon Masters, which I incorrectly called Dragon Knights in episode 13, a video all about correcting myself, was a big departure from the played straight standard castle fare, leaning more into fantasy. My favorite sets are the structures made to look like dragons themselves with giant faces, probably to scare the considerably smaller real dragons away, who knows. I also really like the colors used, all the black and blue and red and those painterly backgrounds with jagged mountains and dark clouds always at sunset. It's got a strong atmosphere, and the bits of foliage give it a more wild, untamed no man's land kind of feel, sort of like Vikings now that I think about it. I probably could have featured this theme in that video. While this line came and went in 1993, there were the usual polybags released as late as 98, and it has been succeeded by similar products as recently as 2013 and 14. Dragon Masters didn't have many sets to its name or really any bad guys. It was just another of several available factions and other castle sub-themes that sometimes crossed over, much like how LEGO Space worked back then. We would see a true antagonistic force introduced in 97 in the form of the Fright Knights, a rogue band of Badlanders who didn't answer to any king, ruled instead by Dark Knight Basil the Batlord and Willa, the witch who gave him his unearthly might. And this I consider LEGO's first truly Halloween-y theme. Black and orange everywhere, in the sky, on the dragons, even the boxes. Tall, deadly spires, large, freakish bat dragon hybrids in the background, giant, and I mean gigantic spiderwebs dripping blood. The atmosphere is so much harsher, like we're on those mountains you only saw glimpses of in Dragon Master's background. It's amazing what a couple of simple changes can do to up the evil factor of basically the same product. Makes the original dragons look like Christmas decorations. This theme is crazy. The next Halloween lineup would be part of Studios, which we've already covered. Yeah, the longer this show goes on, the more you're going to see this happen, unfortunately. I don't have much to say about these sets that I didn't already then, but I do like that while it's all meant to be pretend, these stunt people in costumes do make fine monsters in any other context. They could pass as the real thing. So 2002 was a great time to get your hands on a vampire, or a werewolf, or Frankenstein's monster, or a giant tree, along with the usual mummies, ghosts, and skeletons. If you want to hear more about this theme, just watch the old episode. We wouldn't see anything else like this come along for a decade, but it was worth the wait for 2012's Monster Fighters. I missed out on this theme, but looking back, it was hardcore. After sleeping for centuries, Lord Vampire, spelled with a Y, summons all the might of the monster realm to cover the human world in endless night so the monsters can roam freely. Our heroes must journey into the darkest corners of the monster realm and gather the moonstones, this theme's obligatory collectibles, before Lord Vampire can power his machine that'll eclipse the sun forever. I love this. It's so corny, so loud and proud and boisterous, qualities I don't much like in a person, but it has a Sam Raimi quality of being all up in what it is and completely shameless about it. It's delightfully hammy and just owns it all the way. It is this early 20th century feel about it, but some of the humans are freaking cyborgs and one of them looks like friggin' Elvis. I also love that their leader, a minifig, calls his grandfather his grandfig. This theme's got class and whimsy and punch, and it's so clever. Lord Vampire isn't just some creep who goes around sucking blood. He's a warlock who builds fantastical machines, wields a sword, and commands an army of other monsters. Zombies, mummies, mermen, man-bats, werewolves, ghouls. He's the king of the monsters, all of them. It's the closest you'll ever get to a straight-up Castlevania line. Such a cool concept for LEGO. The sets themselves are very well designed. Most of them are vehicle-focused, which in the humans' case are relatively streamlined, save some giant contraption and extra guns plonked on them. There's a good mix of dark and sandy colors with spurts of brighter ones and downright comical shaping on otherwise foreboding structures, keeping the whole thing from becoming too dour. It's a great atmosphere. One thing I appreciate about the castle is it includes a bunch of moonstones by itself, so you don't have to collect the rest of the line to act out a scenario where Lord Vampire has them all. I expected my favorite set to be the Ghost Train, but I think it might be the Haunted House simply because it feels like a home. There's no conflict, no human characters ruining the monsters' peaceful evening. It's just the monsters hanging out like the Addams Family or the Munsters. It's wholesome. It's got so many homely touches holding it together and little imperfections that make it feel like there's a lot of love in this place, and is that a human heart? And there are so many of these clever details in the other sets, like those clips holding the monster's head together, or this demonic steed's flaming eye sockets, or the way those transparent 1x1 bricks are arranged to create a stained glass effect, or the teeth on this bat-faced hearse being useful for clearing brush out of the way like you'd see on locomotives, or this car just being a coffin on wheels, or that little frog piece as a hood ornament, or Lady Vampire stirring this pot with the butt of a rifle, or Ann Lee tying that cave woman hairpiece with a silver stake. Genius. She also carries garlic on a person because Why wouldn't you? With 9 main sets and a few polybags, this is one rock-solid theme. You just don't get themes that leave a mark like this anymore, make their case with such confidence. I'd be remiss if I didn't touch upon one other theme in this video, 2015 Scooby-Doo, which is alright. I'm not going to pretend Scooby-Doo was ever amazing, but this is a small theme with big shoes to fill, let's put it that way. The major draw of this line is obviously the characters. You get Scooby and the gang and a decent range of classic villains from the show, even including their unmasked identities, and they're pretty faithful to the original designs, right down to Shaggy's hair. But I'll be frank, the only set I could ever want in my life is the Mystery Machine. That is a cool set, and it really bugs me that the girls aren't included. Come on, having the whole gang that would make this a perfect set. I mean, sure, Velma's one of my faves, but I'm gonna spend $90 on her. Are you crazy, Lego? What are you thinking? Although I do like that greenhouse. Does anyone really need the mystery plane, or the mystery boat, or the mystery motorcycle? Boy, there's something magical about how balanced the Mystery Machine's colors are that these other sets made me appreciate in a new way, because they are an eyesore. Seeing the lime, orange, and blue mixed around on other things, it just falls apart. Really turned me off in 2015. But the van itself is still great. I wonder if they would have used teal instead of blue if this came out at a different time. It's a decent lineup of playsets, it's fine, it's a licensed theme, it's Scooby-Doo, what are you gonna do with it? Personally, I would have liked a hallway with a bunch of doors and some shuffling mechanism for the minifigs, that would be fun.
Oh, I hate this part with the doors.
Yeah, that Blair Witch parody was an actual thing on Cartoon Network 20 years ago. There's a good Halloween treat. If you're a Scooby-Doo fan and you can get the Mystery Machine and other minifigs on Bricklink or eBay, I highly recommend seeking them out. They shouldn't be too expensive considering this was only a few years ago, but I would love to see another Monster Fighters tier line someday. That would be cool. That's it for today. Happy Halloween, my pretties. You can find all these lines on Brickset. If you want to support my work, please consider my graphic novels, available through Amazon on Kindle in print. If you're short on money, you can read an older draft of the first volume for free. Links to everything in the description below. Next time, I'm still in a castle mood, so we're venturing into Knight's Kingdom. Toodles.
Once upon a time, a boy discovered a magic castle. Inside was a bat lord and his knights, a witch, and the smell of rotting bones. It was time to go, and the boy tried to escape, but the witch insisted he stay for dinner. Legomania.